So in this final section, we're going to look at new peak detection and reporting. So as well as monitoring specific attributes or CQAs across a batch of samples in a MAM experiment, it might also be important to identify any significant new peaks that appear in the unknown samples. And this is what the new peak detection step is for. Okay, so in the method, we defined the new peak detection criteria. So we defined a 10-fold change, 0.1% of the base peak. The isotope or isotopic similarity score is a measure of how peptide-like the isotope profile is. Okay, so for the given expected mass of the peptide, it will make an average peptide of average amino acids and look at the isotope profile and give that a score, or give your sample a score based on the average profile. And the industry standard for that is 75. Have a matching tolerance for retention time, and we can exclude peptides that are singly charged. Okay, so this is criteria that means that we don't have to hopefully review too many new peaks. So it makes sure that the new peaks that are flagged up are actually, there's a good chance they're peptides. So it means that it just eliminates quite a few, kind of insignificant peaks that you will have to go and review. But these detection criteria are very customizable. You can edit the criteria post-processing, so you can change, for example, a fold change or any of the parameters here. And then if you save that, it will then reprocess the results really quickly. What we have here, this number here, the 50, this is the amount of new peaks that were detected in all the injections. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select unknown sample 2. So what unknown sample 2 is, it's the control sample, the NIST triptych digest, but we've actually spiked in 15 peptides, okay, a 15 peptide mix. And the reason we've done this is we want to be able to make sure that any new peaks detected in the other samples are actually new peaks. So by calibrating it with this 15 peptide mixture that's spiked in, by identifying 15 peaks, there's a good chance that the parameters are set just right to pick out these new peaks. Okay, so again, it's another check, if you like, to help make sure that we identify significant peaks. So if you look at unknown sample 1, this is the stress sample. You can see we've got 32 new peaks here. So ideally, we'll go in and review each one. So when we select review, we can see here we have singly and doubly charged ions, and we have in green, for example here, the doubly charged, we have the extracted ion chromatogram of this new peak in the unknown sample, and then we can see it compared to the reference here. Okay, so it is there in much higher levels, exceeding the fold change in the unknown sample. So yeah, and we get a nice isotope distribution. So we probably say, yeah, we believe this is a new peak. It looks like a peptide. We'll confirm it. And we can then just keep doing this. So we could go through all of the potential new peaks, just give them a little check, make sure everything looks right. So say, for example, here we might want to say reject it. Not saying you have to, but it's just an example of how you would go through and review the new peaks. And you would just keep kind of doing this. And you can see it's given the one I accepted a tick and the one I rejected a cross. Okay. But the idea is, we're going to whittle it down to a more manageable number using the kind of intelligent detection criteria. Okay, so that was new peak detection. The final stage is the report. Okay, so we have options to select the contents of the report. So we have everything selected here. We have things like an injection list, blanks, SRT, the monitored attributes, new peak detection, and acquisition records. So by clicking Generate Report, we'll get a report pop up, which basically contains everything Okay, so it's a very extensive report, but like you saw earlier, you can limit it to different subsections. If things like new peat detection weren't important, you could take them out. Okay, but it basically reports everything across all samples. So that was a demonstration of the new peat detection and reporting in the Peptide MAM app. I hope you've enjoyed the demonstration of the full Peptide MAM workflow. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.